Thank you. Okay, well, all of you that are here, welcome to Catalina High School in our virtual open house. We're excited to have you here. We're going to go through some of the stuff that makes Catalina special and why we think you should be here and some of the offerings that we have. So tonight, what we're going to do is go through the agenda just real quick. I'll do a quick presentation for about 15 minutes max on some of the offerings that we have here and what makes us special. And then we'll have the department heads talk about each one of their departments, or one of their students talk about one of their departments. And then Mr. Bridges will be here to talk about athletics. And then we'll have breakout rooms that you can select which group you want to go to if you want to ask any specific questions. And then at the very end, I'll just do a quick closing. It won't take just a minute. I put 5, but it won't take that long. I'll just to say goodbye and give my contact information if you need it to get a hold of me. All right. So with that, I wanted to go through just some of our guiding principles. And so our vision statement is basically, I'm not going to read all this to you, but basically we really value rigorous learning, and we're trying to prepare students for that global society. And our mission runs right along with that, and the fact that we're trying to provide that rigorous instruction and celebrate the diversity and provide those step stools and ladders to be able to get to all the things that we need. And we use the curriculum provided by the TUSD, and we follow a standards, and we follow a scope and sequence to make sure that we address all the standards that are important and major for each of our departments. We also have the Trojan Way, and again, it follows along the same with the vision and the mission, that we're trying to do the rigorous learning and then provide differentiated instruction to meet all the individual needs, to promote the most growth. We promote cultural understanding because we're a very diverse school, and we'll learn more about that here in a little bit. And we're trying to keep that inclusive environment that fosters learning and positivity. We try to model our behaviors as best as we can to respect kindness, responsibility, and teamwork. And then we try to create that safe and positive learning that kids are engaged in the rigorous learning and be able to share and be comfortable sharing in the classroom, both in the virtual setting and in the in-person setting. And then the big thing that we've been striving on is develop those communications for all stakeholders to support emotional, social, civic, academic, and just overall quality of school, what's going on. Okay, so the first part I wanted to talk about our climate and culture. One of the things that this is my first year as principal of Catalina High School, and one of the first things I noticed is a huge climate of culture of caring, and we do that by having positive behavior intervention supports. So we recognize students for doing the right things as well as teaching students how to do the right things. We have restorative justice where kids and teachers work together to see how to better react in certain situations. We have a lot of family engagement nights. We focus on the growth of each student. We have waivers for students that struggle with any kind of fines, fees, or athletic waivers and things like that. The other thing that we've really been stressing a lot, and I'm glad Miss Miranda's on this meeting because she's one of our college and career counselors, and she does a great job of really initiating that post-secondary culture along with our teachers. So in our class, last year's class of 2020, 80% of our kids filled out a college application, 75% were accepted to a college or university, 85% filled out that federal aid application, and I'll get to some of those awards here in a little bit too. And then we had an 85% increase in the enrollment of U of A from Catalina High School. That's just from last year. So we had a great group going on last year and a lot of post-secondary culture. Last year, we had $820,000 awarded in scholarships from filling out those federal aid applications along with other scholarships. And then grants, we had $3,123,500. So you can see the grand total right over here. And then the last 3 years, students have been awarded over $11 million in scholarships and grants. And that's due to the hard work of many people, parents, students, staff, Miss Miranda, everybody trying to get kids going. We do a lot of college tours virtually and in person, and a lot of that is done through the AVID, which is the Advancement via Individual Determination. That's a class that we'll talk about, and we have a student here to talk about it a little bit. And then another part of our culture is we have this inclusive culture. So we really celebrate diversity. We have over 35 countries represented at Catalina and over 40 different languages. That's a school that I've never been a part of like that, and it's amazing just the culture that we have here. We have some culturally relevant classes such as Mexican American Studies for Government and U.S. History, African American Studies for Government and U.S. History, and then we also have Mexican American Studies and African American Studies for English and Language Arts. And we also do an inclusion classes of co-teaching where it's we believe in the special ed, exceptional ed students being able to be infused into the general ed classes to make sure that they get the standards and work with general ed students. So we have these co-taught classes that have a general ed teacher and an exceptional ed teacher to help with the differentiation of that instruction to make sure that all students are successful. The other part that I wanted to go through is our rigor. So one of the things that we stressed in our mission and vision and Trojan Way is our rigorous classes and the opportunities for students to be able to be enrolled in rigorous classes. So we have lots of AP classes, which are advanced placement. And in those classes, there's structured curriculum that help them prepare for college level courses. And also they take a test at the end in order to get college credit even. So some of the courses we've really, I think it was the last 3 or 4 years, we've doubled the amount of opportunities for these advanced placement classes. So you can read all those. I'm not going to read all those to you, but we also have things called dual credit. And what those dual credit classes are basically college classes in the high school. So you can see we have some writing, some math, and we have some other ones coming soon, pre-calculus, anatomy, physiology. And so we're really moving forward in those rigorous classes and giving lots of opportunities for kids to be prepared for post-secondary. We also, along with that, we get ready by using honors classes in algebra, geometry, freshman English, sophomore English, and biology to be able to prepare them for the rigors of those AP and dual credit classes. And then all juniors take the ACT college assessment during the school day. That didn't happen, I don't think, last year, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year with the pandemic, but that's something that we offer for all students as well. So some of the things along with rigor, we provide a bunch of support, and you'll hear more from the exceptional ed department head later, but like I said, we have those co-taught classes in math and English language arts. We have a strong belief in that inclusion model to make sure that all students are included in the general ed curriculum. We have community-based instruction program that helps students transition to work-based learning. And then we also have self-contained classes for some of the students that need a little bit more support. And so intellectually delayed, multi-disabilities, and then autism program. And then we also have interventions for students, for all students. Like we have a strong multi-tiered systems of support by our multi-tiered systems of support coordinator, Mrs. Deeds. We do response to intervention classes, which is a class that helps support kids be successful in their algebra and geometry classes. And we do credit recovery during the school day and after school. We have tutoring during the school day and after school, even in AP tutoring, general education tutoring. And then we also utilize college tutors like in AVID as well to be able to help kids. And then we have the English language development classes for those students that have English as a second language to help support them learn the language and be successful in high school. So we have a lot of supports for families and students. So the other part with family supports is we have a Catalina Family Resource Center. TUSD has a resource center, but we have one specifically with Catalina that has a food bank, school supplies, clothes at schools. We do holiday meal deliveries. We do all those waivers that I was talking about before. And we get those waivers done through not only donations, but also through our Catalina Foundation that provides a lot of supports financially for both our teachers in the classroom, but also our students that need some help. We have a fantastic social worker, community liaison, dropout prevention specialist, and we have a partnership with Caso de los Niños to provide some mental health therapy. And then we also work strongly with our Youth on Their Own program as well. So you can see we have quite a few supports for students that need any kind of support possible. And if there is a need, we'll find a way to support you. And then we also wanted to talk a little bit about some of these enrichments. So we talked about the rigorous opportunities. Those are also enrichment courses as well, but we have some electives as well. So currently we have a 7-period day. And so with the 7-period day, it gives a lot more opportunities to take those elective classes and those enrichment classes, but also be able to take some of those support classes to be able to get credit recovery. We have some amazing opportunities in career and tech ed with our culinary arts, our construction, and our business operations. And Mr. Gradowski will touch base with you on that here in a little bit. We also have fine arts, and Mr. Troglia will talk about that quite a bit, but we have a huge selection of fine arts like beginning advanced art, theater where they have non-musicals, but also musical plays. They have some technical theater where they work a lot with the technical part of the sounds and the lights, stagecraft, orchestra, and in our band, we have like beginning, advanced, marching, pep, concert, guitar, choir. So basically, if you have a interest in fine arts, we have a way to reach you. Science, we have a lot of offerings. A lot of them were in the AP different areas too, but some of the things that I put under science was lifeguard. That's a class that's unique to Catalina. It's not in any part of TUSD, or I'm not even sure in the city. And so they can get their lifeguard certificates. We have astronomy, earth and space, chem and physics if they choose to take that. And then in our world languages, we have sign language, which is a great offering for students, along with Spanish. And then next year, we're looking at offering a native speaking option for students. And then in physical education, we have dance, yoga, body conditioning. And again, you're going to hear more about these, but I just wanted to outline some of these things. And then some of the other things that we have that are enrichment and elective courses are AVID, which you're going to hear more about, student government run by Mr. Rolfe. And then we also have a yearbook class that produces the yearbook annually. Some of the extracurricular clubs that we have, they're a little bit limited right now just because due to the pandemic that's going on. But typically we have all these ones. Student Council has a club, Yearbook has a club. Then we have Future Health Leaders, the Gay Straight Alliance, Dance, Skills USA. I'm not going to read all these to you, but you can see all these extracurricular clubs that students can participate and be able to be a part of something similar interest. And then extracurricular athletics is in the fall, we have football, cross country, girls volleyball. And then in the winter, we have boys and girls soccer, boys and girls basketball, boys and girls wrestling. And in the spring, we have track and field, softball, baseball, boys and girls tennis, and boys and girls golf. So those are a lot of the offerings that we have for enrichment. With that, I need to stop the share because I think Mr. Beck's telling me Mr. Bridges needs to be let in. So I'm going to stop the sharing to let Mr. Bridges in, but I'm also going to switch over so that the department heads can talk about theirs, and I'll bring up their PowerPoint as well. Mr. Beck, can you give me a thumbs up if you see that on the department presentations? Okay. So we'll start with math. Mr. Hawkins, go ahead. You're up first.
Hey there, guys. I'm speaking on behalf of the math department. I'm not the math department chair, that's John Arroyo, but I wanted to take a minute to explain a bit of what we do. It's myself and 4 other primary teachers that will have the case of Algebra 1, RTI, which is a needs assessment class for kids that come to those algebra classes or geometry classes with necessary skills that need to be taught that they don't bring with them. Next thing also is to consider that we have after-school tutoring available where each day of the week they can work with a math teacher for help in the skills they need. And the hope is that they get multiple teachers that they might have in later years or have had in previous years so they can work best on their skills. Another thing we offer is inclusion classes where they get 2 certified teachers in the classroom with them. So instead of having one teacher to say 30 students, you might get one teacher with 15, another teacher with another 15, or just the ratio comes down, which gives your student more one-on-one time. We want to offer up through potentially dual enrollment for college credit. That isn't offered this year, but I want to remind you that just because something doesn't exist right now doesn't mean it won't exist in 3 or 4 years. Your students are coming to us as freshmen. We're concerned with the entire 4 years of their math journey, as well as other classes, core classes, English and science and such, but this skill builds into itself. We want to also have teachers in our group that work together, that collaborate, that think about things from a big picture standpoint together. They're not just going from one teacher to another, they're bringing skills from each teacher to the next and in reverse. Also, those teachers are trying to give them real world context. So they're going to start clubs possibly next year in gardening, engineering, and gaming, things that interest students, real world contexts that apply the things they might learn in math to the real world situations that can use them. So I guess that's all I had to say. Again, my name is Nate Hawkins, and I'm going to encourage you to come to Catalina, not just for the math run, for the whole school. As Mr. Parks mentioned, the culture of care. It starts with the teachers and gets to your students. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. All right. Next, we have social studies with Ms. Kornmuller.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual open house. It's a pleasure to represent the social studies department. In the state of Arizona, your students do need 3 years of social studies credits. They start off as sophomores with world history, then junior year, they take American history, and senior year, they take 1 semester of government, 1 semester of economics, and that achieves their 3 credits that they need. We also offer multiple culturally relevant courses, focusing on African American and Mexican American viewpoints into different social studies areas. We have multiple AP courses offered as well for pretty much every course we offer within social studies. And in addition, we also offer AP psychology, which I think our kids are finding to be the most fun AP class so far. And the last thing I want to talk about is that there is a civics exam requirement that students must meet before they graduate from a high school in Arizona. And we do give that in TUSD in 8th grade and 11th grade. And we're finding by the time they get to 11th grade, most of them have already passed it. But then in 11th grade, we do give that a second time just to try to catch the ones that haven't so far. So that hasn't been an issue for anyone with graduation yet. But
all right. Well, thank you, Ms. Kornmuller. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Are you good? I wasn't sure. Sorry.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Kornmuller. All right. Up next, we have Mr. Rolfe with physical education.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. I'm Sam Rolfe. I'm the department chair for the physical education department, which also includes our health classes. We obviously offer co-ed physical education classes. Those are basically our typical individual sport instruction or fitness activities. We do also offer body conditioning, which is most people know as weight training, dance and yoga. We do have a certified yoga instructor that teaches our yoga classes. And one of the things we do also offer here is lifeguarding. We are the only school in the district that offers this class, and a lot of our students who take lifeguarding are actually placed into jobs at pools throughout the Tucson Parks and Rec department, because the guy who runs the Catalina pool is also in charge of most of the pools for the city. A couple of things not on here. We also offer, our department also includes our credit recovery classes. So if a kid falls behind, one of our teachers teaches classes where they can go online to make up credits. And then we also, as Mr. Parks had said earlier, I'm also the student government teacher, which we don't really have a spot on the PowerPoint for that, but student government basically is our student leaders. They're the ones who are in charge of putting on all of our pep assemblies, all of our school dances, homecoming events and things like that. So yeah, that's really what we do in our department here.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Roll. All right, Miss Shufflebarger, English.
Hello, I'm Amanda Shufflebarger. I'm the English department head. And in English, we have students will take 4 years of English, and we offer inclusion courses for all 4 years. So that is, again, a course with 2 certified teachers per class with students. And we also offer honors courses. And at the 11th and 12th grade levels, we offer AP and dual enrollment courses where students can receive college credit for the work that they're completing in high school. We also offer culturally relevant courses from Mexican American perspective and African American perspective that students can enroll in to receive their English credit. And we also have response to intervention courses for extra support for students who would benefit from that.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Shufflebarger. Okay, Dr. Bristow for science.
Hi, welcome. My name is Kelly Bristow, and I'm the department chair for the science department. So in high school to graduate, 3 science classes are required, and we do offer 10 science classes, including STEM, biology, honors biology, chemistry, physics, earth and space, astronomy, AP biology, AP physics, and dual enrollment, anatomy and physiology. When you enter high school, you will have to take a specific pathway of science classes. And we have several different science pathway options that you can take for those 3 required science classes to graduate. And then we also have some science electives if some people would like to take a 4th year of science. Those would include the classes such as AP biology, AP physics, dual enrollment, anatomy and physiology, which are for, the dual enrollment is for college credit. Those would be a 4th year elective science. So we don't only offer basic science classes, we have advanced placement, dual enrollment, and honors classes as well. We have very well-equipped laboratory classrooms in which all of our sciences offer hands-on lab experiments throughout the year. And we plan to have several science clubs next year to join, including Future Health Leaders, a biology club, and a STEM club. All of our science teachers are really excited to work with all of our students, and we hope to see you at Catalina next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bristow. All right, fine arts, Mr. Troglia.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Troglia. I am the Fine Arts Department Chair. The Fine Arts have multiple offerings for you here at Catalina High School. We have our Visual Arts Department, which has a 4-year track with our instructor, Mr. Leviton. He'll take your students through many different art styles as well as learning the history of those styles. The end of the track will be an AP course offering for your student, which culminates all of the work of the prior 3 years to create a portfolio that you can take with you into the future. Our theater program, run by Mr. Chris Mosley, has courses which can either teach and improve students' acting skills or have students learn the behind-the-scenes technology aspect of the theater. Beginning in advanced theater will show the students many different acting techniques to put use and school performances that we offer here at Catalina. Each performance is an opportunity for all students to show what they've learned in front of their peers as well as their family. These range from one-act plays that are prepared for things like competition, to musicals that are put together with the music department. Our technical theater class shows students the background work needed to run shows of this magnitude, such as musicals on the one acts. This involves learning how to run light boards, sound boards, as well as backstage managing instruction. Our theater department also offers membership into the International Thespian Society as well, so that's really cool. Our music department has 2 instructors. The choir, band, and guitar courses are taught by Mr. Robert Togli and myself, while our orchestra is directed by Mr. Paul Ency. The guitar program at Catalina has multiple levels for students who want to take the course for up to 4 years. Catalina also has an awesome partnership with Lead Guitar, which is a program that is national now that's been run through the University of Arizona. This program allows our students to have a weekly visit from a professional guitarist who usually has either a master's or a doctorate in guitar performance, and they come in to help reinforce the teachings of the classical style of guitar, which is what we teach in our guitar classes. Our marching and concert band consists of preparing many different genres of music for performance in competitions and school concerts as well. The marching band plays at all home football games and multiple basketball games throughout the year. And our concert band plays in at least 3 concerts throughout the year, which shows friends and families all the hard work that's taking place in the classroom. And the band is also for beginning players as well as intermediate to advanced. Our orchestra class ranges from beginning players to intermediate and advanced players. The orchestra performs in competitions, fine art showcases, and also joint concerts with our direct feeder school, Doolin Middle School. This course allows your students to learn one of our 4 different string instruments, the violin, cello, viola, or bass. And Mr. Paul Ency, who is our director, is the director for Doolin Middle School as well as Catalina. So if you're at Doolin, it's going to have a nice seamless transition for any of the students coming in. Our choir program at Catalina allows your natural instrument, which is your voice, to be used and developed throughout each of the 4 years. Your students will be singing secular music, which is not religious music, as well as sacred music, which has to do with religion. And having to do that allows us to kind of explore the huge library of choral music that we have. Each student will learn how to sing in an ensemble with others, as well as kind of conquer that stage fright with things like solos throughout the year. So the Fine Arts Department hopes to see you in our classes, and we hope to perform with you and just have you guys enjoy music, art, and theater just as much as we do. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Trogler. Okay, World Languages and English Languages by Ms. Parsons.
Good evening, future Trojans. My name is Christina Parsons. I'm the ELD coordinator and World Languages Department chair. We are very happy that we have so many countries represented in our school, 38 countries and 46 languages. We have 6 teachers in our departments, 4 of them in the ELD department, and we have foundations to ELD 4. We also offer ELD World History and ELD US History, and maybe we'll be offering US ELD Government next year. We have ELD RTI, Algebra, Math, Algebra, and Geometry. We also have in our Languages department, we have Spanish 1 through 4, Spanish Heritage, it's for native speakers. And we also offered American Sign Language.
Thank you, Ms. Parsons. Okay, Mr. Gradowski, Career and Tech Ed.
Thank you, Mr. Parks. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Gradowski. I'm the chair of CTE department here at Catalina. CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. And we have 3 offerings here. We have business operations, construction technology, and culinary arts. And it's basically, we begin our courses with kind of a career exploration. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to go into construction or culinary arts or those particular trades, but it allows you the opportunity to explore and see if that's something that you may be interested in. So in the business operations section, we have, you're going to learn basically the skills to operate effectively in the business world and develop your business acumen. You will obtain a Microsoft Office certification. It's all of our programs are 2-year programs, so you receive a state certificate after a 2-year completion. In construction technology, we offer the opportunities for internships, and we have the only sheet metal program in Southern Arizona, which is an award-winning program, if you guys are interested in that. Our job placement in construction technology is quite robust. We have an extensive network of industry partners, and our job placement is very effective. In culinary arts, same kind of thing. We have excellent relationships with industry partners, and we work very closely with them to place our students in jobs. We do a lot of district and school-wide events, so students will get real-world experience just by being in the class and participating in these things. It's also a lot of fun, and you learn how to cook. Thank you very much, Mr. Parks.
Thank you, Mr. Grodowski. All right, now our counseling services by Ms. Buchanan.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome future Trojans. In our counseling department, we have 2 alpha counselors, Ms. Parrish. She has all students last name A through L, and then it's myself. I have all students last name M through Z, and I also serve as the department chair. Ms. Miranda, you heard her name earlier. She is our college and career readiness coordinator, and she is responsible for helping students, not only her, but she is our site guru for FAFSA. We also have a college readiness team. So we have many teachers that are trained to help students with the FAFSA. So that is a group effort among our staff. We also offer social and emotional lessons and presentations to our students. We provide career exploration. We conduct support groups on various topics. We recently conducted a study skills group where we really help students develop some study skills and give them some resources to help them throughout high school, because we understand it can be a challenge, for our incoming freshmen. We also provide student credit checks and post-secondary plans. We ask students up front what their career path is. So if it is a career in construction or culinary or business, we can make sure you're taking those classes while you're in high school. And then each year we kind of navigate students in selecting their courses for the upcoming school year. And that's something we have started right now. We are also available to provide referrals to outside agencies for additional resources for students and families that might need help. And another thing that we're really proud of in the counseling department, we have a partnership with the Kiwanis Club here in Tucson. So they have been recognizing our students for Student of the Month. And even during the pandemic, they have provided some plaques for some of our students. So we will be distributing those soon. So we pride ourselves on hearing what our students and families need and providing resources for them as well. So we would love to have you at Catalina and to be a part of our family. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Buchanan. Exceptional education, Ms. Musney.
I don't know if good evening. Hi. I was waiting because Ms. Lumsden was also going to be part of this, and she had a presentation. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about our inclusive program, and I went along the lines of a lot of the departments, went ahead and talked about, we had the English department and the math department. So we have a lot of co-taught classes in English and math. And I also wanted to promote our community-based instruction program here at Catalina, where we have a full-time community-based instructor teacher that that teaches our students a lot of those post-secondary skills and transitioning into college readiness, career readiness. And so I wanted to take the time also to thank the other departments for really focusing on including a lot of our inclusive practices within our departments. And we also have our inclusion teachers that support our students, not only English and math, but in a lot of the other rigorous courses that are offered at Catalina. And I'm also, Ms. Lumsden was also going to join us one of the breakout rooms because she has a couple of video presentations as well for that community-based instruction program. So I welcome you guys to really go into the breakout rooms and see what we really utilize as far as the community resources for our students.
All right, thank you, Ms. Musney. All right, Avid, Mr. Downing and student.
Hey y'all, my name's Coach Downing. I am one of the AVID coordinators and the head baseball coach here at Catalina High School. So AVID is a special elective class that students can take And it's really focused on getting students into college, making sure that they're prepared for college, and making sure that college is paid for. So we do things like hire college tutors to actually come and tutor your students during class, so they don't have to miss sports, or they don't have to, worry about transportation. We do tutoring during class. We go on field trips normally, all over the place, and visit colleges all over the state and elsewhere. And rather than talking about it too much, I've invited one of my many amazing Rockstar Avid students to just kind of share his experience very quickly. So I'll turn it over to Anthony. So thanks, y'all.
Hello, my name is Anthony Hernandez, and I'm a senior who has had the great opportunity to take AVID for 2 years. During my time here at Catalina, I can say that AVID is a rarity that can show immediate results in terms of applying what you learn in the real world. That's not something a lot of high school classes can do as directly as the AVID program has. I've had Mr. Downing for the first time this year and a different teacher the last, but have gained more than advantageous skills. From learning the grounding of organization and preparation in schoolwork, to adapting the power of self-advancement via individual integrity and self-exploration, these AVID offers unconditionally. Whether you were put in the class by an overflow or set on going to college from the start of freshman year, I can say personally, AVID works and is a great learning environment where the students and teachers benefit in the realistic conditions that AVID brings to Catalina. I say this because I was that student that was put into AVID unwillingly with presumptions, and was given one of the most beneficial experiences I could ask for during my years of high school. I am as of now accepted to 3 colleges and expecting the Pell Pledge grant from the U of A. I'm glad to be set to graduate on time with skills that I know will benefit me and my life in further schooling. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. All right, I'm going to stop the share. We're going to go to Mr. Bridges. Mr. Bridges is going to talk a little bit about athletics here at Catalina High School. Mr. Bridges, you're up.
Good evening, prospective students, families, and friends, and also all of the staff and friends that we have on the Zoom here tonight. My name is Tim Bridges. I'm the athletic director here at Catalina. I am thrilled to be a Trojan, and I'm excited to be able to provide you with some information in terms of the opportunities that we have for you athletically, be it individual sports or team sports. And we want to also make sure you know what's going on really at Catalina and what is the vision moving forward. What I've outlined for you today involves spending some time to share the 3 phases of the transformational process of our athletic department. First, I'll discuss the transformational purpose statement. Then I'll go into the list of individual activities that we provide here on campus. I know Mr. Parks have alluded to that earlier. And finally, I'd like to share with you the collective definition of success within our interscholastic program. Because again, it's not always about winning. I really appreciate Anthony being on the call to give you a firsthand visual view of the impact of our rigorous academic component, along with our interscholastic component, because Anthony represents himself across all of those lines. First, I want to talk about our transformational purpose statement. And essentially, that's just basically the connective tissues of what the core meaning of what we believe and the kind of coaching leaders that the Department of Athletics will be searching for and that we currently have in place. Catalina aspires to produce and promote positive and productive young men and women who desire to be a part of something meaningful, challenging, and fun that allows them to be the best version of themselves through individual, team, and community encounters. The second phase are the athletic activities themselves. We offer during the fall sports, which typically start in August. We offer cross country, boys and girls. We offer football, girls volleyball. And for the near future, I'm looking to build a swim program. As Mr. Roth alluded to earlier, we have the lifeguard program on campus. There's no reason why we have a beautiful swim facility that we do not have a swim program on this campus. So we will certainly have a day where we're going to mark swim as one of the activities that we provide for your students. During the winter sporting season, we provide boys and girls basketball, boys and girls soccer, and boys and girls wrestling. Girls wrestling is new to the AIA this year. Last year, we had 2 state finalists, just to let you know where Catalina is moving for the future. We're growing and we're building, and we certainly want your student athletes to come and participate regardless of gender. Finally, wrapping up the spring season of sport, we offer baseball. You've had a chance to just speak with our head baseball coach, Mr. Downing. We offer softball, co-ed golf, boys and girls tennis, boys and girls track and field, and last but not least, boys volleyball. Now I'm going to move into the third phase of what our athletic department is all about. So I want to share with you a collective definition of what success is within our scholastic programs. Catalina reigns as one of the oldest high schools in Tucson, dated way back to 1953. Pueblo and Tucson followed shortly after that with construction programs that began in 1954. And due to enormous growth in the Tucson area, the emergence of other schools came about, and there were a lot more opportunities. So Catalina was not the hub of all of the educational avenues in Tucson. As a result, historically and into today, Catalina continues to be the representative who hosts most of the leadership events that are in town. We host multiple championships through the middle school ranks, the elementary ranks. Last year during the COVID season, before we got shut down, we built a relationship with the Phoenix Cardinals, and the Phoenix Cardinals, we're looking to do some things this year here on campus. So we're really excited about what our facilities offer, and it dates way back into 1954 when that success really began to take place. And we're bringing it right back today in 2021. Therefore, by definition, success reigns here at Catalina. Whether or not you see wins and losses and us on the news, some great things are going on our campus. We've seen our students excel at higher levels of personal transformation, regardless of socioeconomic status, race or ethnicity, or personal identity. For example, in the past 2 years, we've celebrated and estimated, and I'll pause here. I know Ms. Buchanan can certainly give you direct information about the amount, but we've celebrated an estimated $7 million in the last 2 years in allocations towards academic scholarships. These are our student athletes earning academic scholarships at D1 schools all the way down to junior colleges. Also, student loan money that's come in for kids that are pursuing advanced education, and also grants. In addition, our Trojans in recent years have been commended for a pair of in-season tournament championships and have been praised and have praised numerous student athletes for first and second team all region and all state honors. Boys basketball, soccer, and baseball made state playoff appearances and runs within the last few years. Also, we've crowned finalists in sports such as track and field and wrestling, as I mentioned earlier. Catalina was named the winner of the prestigious state recognition award called the Tony Comedina Award. And that award basically recognizes the school in the whole entire state of Arizona who practices and promotes the highest level of equity, gender equity within their boys and girls program. And that says a lot. It's not about just winning, it's about giving opportunities for all students across all lines. I appreciate your time and attention and serious consideration to become a Trojan. The administration, teachers, staff, and the coaches that we have at Catalina understand that everyone's transformational path of success and winning is different. And we'll meet you where you're at and identifying your personal characteristics, strengths, weaknesses, and what winning is to you, not only on the field of play. So I'd love to hear, have a chance to meet with you in the breakout room. Rise Trojans. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bridges. You got me all inspired. I'm trying not to run through this wall over here. That was a great speech. Thank you. We have one more thing from the Exceptional Ed. Miss Lumsden is going to share a quick video on the community-based instruction. And Miss Lumsden, do you want to take it away for a second before we head to breakout rooms?
Sure. I wasn't quite expecting that, but I am more than ready. Here we go.
Ah, there we go.
Okay. Thank you.
The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. You cast a spell on me. You hit me like the sky fell on me, and I decided you look well on me. So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights out now. Now I'll take you by the hand you another drink. Drink it if you can. Can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from us. So stay with me. I can make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. Very good. And all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. So glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came.
Thank you, Ms. Lumsden, for sharing that. That was great. That's a community-based instruction program. Amazing students, amazing teacher. It's a great program to have at Catalina, and Ms. Lumsden does an amazing job running that program, and so we're excited. That's an incredible opportunity for kids, and you can see how all different aspects have been integrated. You know, there was culinary arts, there was drama in there from our current, and then going out into the community and utilizing things. And so that kind of sums up Catalina as a whole. We're very family oriented, and we try to take care of kids the best we can and reach everybody and try to find a passion of theirs to be able to pursue that in the post-secondary goals. With that, I'm going to stop the recording.